By 1984, Christian Dior was failing. The brand was losing $20 million a year, largely because it was flooding the market with mass-produced socks and kitchen towels. When its parent company went bankrupt, the French government stepped in with a desperate offer. To save 20,000 jobs, they put the entire group up for sale, but with a strict requirement. The buyer had to keep every factory running and every worker on the payroll. While seasoned investors saw a death trap, a real estate developer named Bernard Arnault saw an opening. Despite having no experience in fashion or retail, he bought the entire toxic liability for exactly 1 franc. That single coin secured the foundation for what is now a $111 billion luxury empire. Arnault's plan relied on engineering a gap. He realized that the value of a luxury brand depends on the distance between the people who own it and the people who are kept away from it. This strategy allowed Arnault to execute a total transformation of the brand's identity, beginning with a calculated dismantling of the company he had just promised to save. Almost immediately, Arnault broke his agreement with the government. He laid off 9,000 workers and stripped the company of its non-fashion assets, selling off diaper brands and furniture chains for hundreds of millions in cash. The French government was powerless to stop him. If they took the company back, they would inherit the same bankruptcy Arnault had just solved, which would end up creating an even larger political disaster. With his capital secured, Arnault focused on the brand itself. He knew that for a brand to be elite, it had to be unaffordable to the middle class. He terminated over 150 cheap licensing deals and pulled Dior out of every mid-tier department store. He even took the remaining mass-market inventory and had it incinerated. Normally, a price hike kills demand. As things get more expensive, fewer people buy them. But Arnault exploited the Veblen effect, where the opposite happens. By jacking up prices and choking supply, Dior became harder to get, making it more desirable to the elite. Intentionally making the product scarce didn't alienate his target audience, it restored the brand's status. However, high prices only work if the public actually craves the product. To ignite that desire, Arnault needed a massive cultural catalyst. He found it in Princess Diana. Arnault managed to get a newly designed Dior bag into her hands just as she was becoming the most photographed woman on the planet. When the world saw her carrying the bag, it sparked an immediate global obsession. Suddenly, the brand was associated with the ultimate symbol of royal exclusivity. In just 2 years, Dior sold 200,000 units of that single bag, a windfall equivalent to over $1 billion in revenue today. This moment permanently linked the brand to an image of unattainable power, widening the gap between the brand and the general public. But heritage brands face a constant threat, the risk of aging out with their customers. To stay relevant, Arnault had to capture the next generation. This led to the creation of the saddlebag. It was tiny, oddly shaped, and lacked any real practical utility. Placing such a non-functional item on major youth cultural icons signaled wealth through a total rejection of practicality. If a bag doesn't need to be useful, its only purpose is to show that the owner can afford to ignore logic. This strategy allowed Arnault to take $50 worth of raw material and sell it for nearly $3,000. Arnault has repeated this loop for decades, pairing Dior with current icons like Rihanna and Travis Scott to ensure the brand never feels like a relic of the past. By constantly attaching the brand to the adrenaline of youth culture, he keeps the exclusivity engine running. Arnault's growth strategy relies on a precise mastery over the psychological architecture of human desire. He treats his products like museum artifacts. By forcing a customer to walk over marble, to view a single isolated bag on a pedestal, he creates an environment of reverence that a standard retail store cannot match. He took this exact psychological blueprint and used it to acquire and transform other heritage brands, including Tiffany & Company. The result is the creation of LVMH, a $500 billion monopoly that dominates the global luxury market. Bernard Arnault expanded LVMH into a global powerhouse by prioritizing the sale of status above all else. He proved that for the right price, people will pay for the distance between themselves and everyone else.